What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. How big of a surprise would it be if Ohio State beat Georgia? And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I think about how there was points in this year people thought Ohio State was the best team in the country, and to me, 2020, I really thought Clemson was going to beat them once again in back-to-back years. And they came out and they just really made a statement and played out of their mind. And I'm thinking, what if Ohio State comes out and they handily beat Georgia? Obviously, that's a lot easier said than done, but I'm just thinking to myself that if they go out and do this, then I think there'd be a lot of people that would kind of scratch their heads and say, a lot of people, weren't they the betting favorites? Weren't they? I'll scratch my head. I'll do it. Weren't they the betting favorites? Didn't at some point people think they were the best team in the country anyways? Weren't they, a one poor performance against, or one win away from, obviously it was a big, a far distance away from Michigan from being a 12-0 team that likely would have won the Big Ten championship. Yes, they were. And do most people consider this not only maybe the most talented team over, top to bottom in the country? I saw some things that, if you were to do a draft of top players from Ohio State, if you went one for one, took a top player from each, maybe Ohio State, if you took the first 10 guys, maybe Ohio State would have like 6 or 7. But would they be maybe a couple receivers? Maybe Harrison and Obuka wouldn't be like very good representation of that, because they obviously if you're good at receiver, you're good at receiver. Obviously Ohio State isn't as strong as Georgia in the line of scrimmage and some other areas, but the Ohio State upper end talent really matches up well with the Georgia upper end talent. So. It really makes you wonder how much of a surprise that really would be if Ohio State did come out and make that statement. But obviously there is the flip side that, maybe Georgia come out, and if they beat them handily, then a lot of people would be saying, this team is for real, and that was not just a one year thing, even though I don't think it'll be a 1 year thing. You'll just be like, Georgia was that team all along. And they're just they just make a statement and beat Ohio State. But that came to mind. And the next, the other thing is can Ohio State take advantage of Georgia's weakness? Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Keely Ringo is going to be one of the more interesting matchups, because I think if Georgia's smart, this will say a lot about Kirby Smart. Not that he's not a good defensive coordinator, but I think if they're willing to put him on Harrison Jr. man-to-man frequently in this game, I think that is a recipe for disaster. Not that I don't think Ringo's a good player, but he's shown he has some problems with hip fluidity and ability to turn and make plays on the ball. And Harrison, if you watch that play he had against Michigan, he had the catch against Germont Green, and I think it was the other one. Man, I should know this being a Michigan fan, but I think the other one was like a back shoulder throw. I believe it was against DJ Turner. I guess the point being is that's going to be tough for Ringo to adjust and make plays on the ball with how fluid of an athlete Marvin Harrison is. So I think you'll see a lot of off zone. I don't think maybe some off man. I don't think they will really want to press Ringo on him. Maybe they'll put Lassiter on him. But maybe, I don't know, Bullard mostly is in the slot, like the star position. But, it'll be interesting. But can Ringo can at least hold his own? They're going to go to Harrison at least, I have to say a few times. They're going to try to go to him as much as necessarily possible. But can Ringo at least, hold up? And the big sign is if George is getting pressure, then Ringo really shines, because, he's a guy that can turn and run. So if, Stroud is in a hurry and he has to get rid of it quick in a deep ball, Ringo can just turn around and run with him. That's no problem. He has no problem opening his hips, just that quick open and turn. It's when he's, the back shoulder, or it's when, the receiver has a long time to really, go through that route and work back to the ball that, Ringo in transition is not as good. So that's one matchup that'll be interesting to see. But, I'm going to wrap with that. Thanks so much for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time. Peace.